Hello everyone, it's Barry here again at the Lure Box. I am in the shop today. Yesterday we had a massive delivery of rods. I'm just racking them up and trying to find space. I'm always moving stuff around at the moment, it seems. But we had these sort of great combos come in from Shimano. Lovely, decent quality, but affordable, ready-made, ready to go, braids spooled up. We also had a number of W3s come in from Western. And this is one of them. I'm just spooling it up. Someone bought a rod and reel, and I've literally just spooled that one up. That's the Street Stick 2 to 7 grams. But a worrying number of rod tips are being broken. This is one thing I wanted to speak to you guys about, is rod preservation. It's, literally these rods here are all spare tips I've ordered in for people, not just yesterday. Some of them are actually unclaimed. This one came in yesterday with the Western order. That's must be a finesse jig because it's got the orange tip. This one must be a Berkeley because it's got the white tip. It's been unclaimed. It's been sitting here for a while, and a number of we've got a various range of rods. Some of them I know who they are. If you are waiting for a rod tip, incidentally, please get hold of me because I've got quite a number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sitting waiting to be claimed. As I say, a couple arrived yesterday, but the majority have been here for a little while. So apologies if you are waiting on a tip, but please do get hold of me. So what I wanted to go through, one of the main causes of breakage I find, let me just put those through there, is customers getting hold of me and saying, I hadn't used the rod yet, I just took it out, I put the line through, I was pulling the line through and it just snapped so easily. That's probably the second most common, because that's basically before they've even used it. The most common I have is I've only used it once or twice, or first time, and I just went to put the lure back in the hook keeper and it snapped at the tip really too easily, so it must be a manufacturer fault. Now don't get me wrong, I know manufacturer faults do exist, but it's not that common. We sell a heck of a lot of rods, I use a heck of a lot of rods, I've broken a heck of a lot of rods. These rods, this is, as I say, this is a Street Stick 2 to 7 gram. Very, very fine rod. You can see the tip there. It's probably, it's a millimeter and a bit thick. Now that's a tubular structure, bear in mind. So the walls of that are less than a millimeter thick. The graphite, the technology these days enables guys to make these rods super light, super sensitive, but also strong. But strong for their thickness, as with braid, for example. The technology with braid has come on so long, and people go, oh, it's super strong, but this braid is not made to be strong. This braid is, I think this was the 12-pound braid. It's super fine braid, but it's not going to be excessively strong. That's not what you're buying it for. If you want strong braid, you buy strong braid. You buy 80 pounds, you buy 100 pounds, you buy 300, whatever. If you want super fine braid, as with rods, you buy something like that. Delicate, but super fine. And I'm just having a rod tip shoved under the door here that I was wondering where it was. So thanks for that. I'll grab that. Let me open the door actually. Another one. Gosh. So yes, this is one of the rod tips that was sent back to us. That was broken. I was wondering where it was. One of the many. So where was I? Yes, if you're buying an expensive rod, if you're buying a light rod, I had someone say to me, oh, I can't believe how easily it broke considering how much it cost. Now that's a bit of a misperception really, because actually it's quite the contrary in a lot of cases, because the more expensive the rod, the more percentage of graphite, the more brittle it's going to be. It may be lighter, it may be sensitive, but in order to achieve that, they've had to make the graphite thinner. They've had to put more graphite than composite, and therefore, whilst it's designed to do certain things, in other ways, it's not going to be as strong as you might think. So, back to the main story I get, is I was just putting in the hook keeper. So if you see this rod is designed to go like that. When you're fishing, you're not really getting it much beyond 90 degrees. A lot of people break rods when they're lifting them up like that, trying to get the fish, and it does go beyond 90 degrees. That's putting all that stress right on the tip, because it's now parallel to the main part of the rod. So you've got a backbone here that's going to be straight. All that all that bend is now focused on the tip. And if you look at this rod at the tip there, even though this is bending quite a lot, the actual arc is very slight, you know, just a few degrees. So if you're putting in your hook keeper and you're bending the rod like that, as you can see, it's bending it unnaturally. And I think a lot of people don't actually even look. They just go like that, and then they'll loosen the line. Never put all that strain on the rod at that angle, because that's not what they're designed for. Another thing is, when guys are pulling the line through, they'll grab the rod there, for example, and they'll go like that, you know, pull the line. And again, it's putting all the stress on that point, you know. Or when they're testing the rod, they'll do this. And, you know, I showed you that arc. You know, it's not going to go much more than that, you know, than a few degrees, and you're going to get a massive sort of parabolic arc in the rod. But if you limit that just to that little spot, this rod would break if I bent it too much more than that. I'm not going to attempt that. So when you're pulling your line through, never limit the bend of the rod. You know, hold it down at the bottom. Loosen your drag, you know, so that you don't have to put an unnecessary amount of force to pull that line through. Loosen your drag. Unclip the bail arm if you have to, you know. There's no reason why you should, you know, then, oh, you know, that's still putting a reasonable amount, but I'm not bending it a huge deal. Loosen it even more, you know. Just be careful with it. And, you know, the other thing is, when I've seen people testing rods, saying, okay, hold this, you know, hold the handle when someone's trying to demonstrate, and they hold it there. You know, the best way is to put some line through it, but failing that, if you want to test the strength of a rod, just hold it right on the tip ring like that. On the tip ring, you know, as I say, never hold it there and bend it. Hold it on the handle. That's the way these rods are designed to work, right? It's the same with anything. If you start using something unnaturally, the way it's not designed to be worked, putting it through unnecessary rigors, then they will let you down. These rods are amazing, amazing technology. They're light, they're sensitive, but there's a compromise in everything. As with the braid, as with a Ferrari, a McLaren made out of carbon, if you crash it into a wall, it's not going to bend and you just bend it back. It's going to shatter, because that's what it's designed to do. It's very strong. If you knock it, it probably won't bend like metal would, but crash it, you're not going to take it to the panel beaters and go, it's going to be a big, expensive repair, because it's a big, expensive bit of machinery, you know, high-tech machinery. So just bear that in mind, guys, because honestly, the number of warranty claims we get is quite disproportionate for the number of sort of manufacturing faults that we've come across in our personal experience. So hope that helps. Just look after your rods. You know, we do sell various rod protecting kit. Obviously, if you're paying for a really expensive rod, we got the Western ones here, we got the W8s, the W6s. I would think you want to look after them. You know, for some people, they save for a long time to buy these rods, whether it be a £20 rod, if that's all you can afford, or an £800 rod. Either way, look after it and just treat it with care, and it will repay you the benefits. It will last a long time, and hopefully we can reduce the number of tips I'm having to order in, because it really is a bit of a pain. Hope that helps, guys, and keep safe, keep well, and yeah, hopefully you can get out fishing next week, which we're all quite excited about. Thanks for watching.